So we have unrealistic expectations to some extent, and I think it's hindering us, finding the right people. It's hindering our progress with the people that we are with right now. Maybe we're comparing them to other people, or we're doubting their compatibility with us, or we're doubting if we should be asking for more. I think we should focus on how we feel when we're with someone, as opposed to a set of rules. I saw him first, he's all mine. You can't have him, no. I saw him first, I saw him first. I saw him first, now have several seats. Hi everybody, hi, welcome back to my podcast, and if you're watching on YouTube, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm Angie, your host, and I've been away for too long. I've been away for about a month, I think, and life has been lifing, you guys. I will update you when the time comes, but a lot has happened in my life in the past month. But I'm glad to be back, and I'm glad to pick this up right where I left off. So without further ado, let's get started. By the title, you guys already know what this is going to be about. I was just thinking, because I see a lot of this on Reddit. I am in a lot of, subreddits about dating and relationships and all of that. And people are just always complaining about how they're done with dating, about how hard it is. And people always post things like, men, this is for the men. What are you finding difficult? This is for the women. What are you finding difficult in dating with the apps and all of that? And it got me thinking, right? Why is it so hard? Why is it so difficult to find someone you like and that likes you back, that wants to date you and be with you, I mean, it's not difficult to get a date, as a pretty girl. Just saying. Okay, let's get serious. But, getting a date is usually not the hard part. The hard part is actually finding someone that you like and you connect with and have them like you back, right? And someone that wants the same things as you do. So let's just get right into it without, rambling on for too long. I kind of broke this down into three categories. I tried to make it sound, rhymey. I went with diversity, vanity, and technology because I felt like, was rhyming, but I don't know if diversity is the right word. I will go with differences. I think differences sounds more like it. But for the purpose of rhyming and just putting it up on the screen, let's go with diversity. Let's go with vanity, and let's go with technology. Okay, starting with diversity. What do I mean diversity? Isn't diversity a good thing? Why is diversity the reason why we're single and we can't find someone to love? It's because we're so different. We're so different from each other. Think about it, right? Two people who have grown up completely differently. They've grown up in different countries because of how, interconnected, why is my hair getting hooked on everything today? My hair's getting hooked on my nails, it's getting hooked on my bracelet. Anyway, because of how much we're sort of connected from different parts of the world, because of how diverse our society is, it means that nowadays we're not growing up with, we're not dating people that we grew up with. Like back in the days, back in their days, where you would grow up in such a small community, everyone's parent, everyone knows each other's parent, you've kind of already grown up together, your parents have probably matched you since you were 6 years old, right? So there's not much diversity. There's not that many differences. You know each other's cultures. You probably grew up in similar socioeconomic backgrounds. same kind of class, same sort of experiences, right? So you're probably going to have similar mindsets. So it would probably, again, be easier for these two people to meet and get along. Not just me, because you already probably met each other on the street somewhere, because you live in such a small village. But it's probably going to be easier for these two people to date each other and get along and, find things that they share in common and have it work out nicely, right? Whereas now, I grew up in Nigeria, right? I moved from Lagos to London in the UK, and then I went from London to Kent in Canterbury, and then I went from Canterbury to up north. Now I'm in Manchester. So think about how much I've moved, right? And how different I will be from someone who grew up in Manchester and just born and raised, right? And has grown up here and lived here all of their life. Think about how different we're going to be in terms of mindset, in terms of probably goals, in terms of family, in terms of values, in terms of just everything. We're just so different. We're two different people, especially if you date interracially, which I do. I date I'm attracted to all faces and colors and everything, right? So imagine me trying to date, for instance, someone who's Indian, or someone who's Korean, or someone who is Chinese, or someone who is English, British, Scottish, whatever it is, right? We're probably going to disagree on a lot of things. We're probably going to want different things. We're probably going to see things different in different ways. We're probably going to not get along all the time. We're going to be different in so many. The diversity in our thoughts, in our values, in our upbringing, even financially. It could be some rich guy that's never had to work a day in his life, who's never had to wait to get any presents. He just asks and he gets, someone who, I don't know, it's just add things easy. So they wouldn't understand my struggle coming from, an average, middle class background, right? So there's that socioeconomic difference. There's also that difference of where we grew up. Even if you sort of take away how different we were nurtured, how we grew up, how about nature? How about how we're just born different, right? A lot of people, our personalities are different just from the day we were born. People who have, even just my stepsister, who I just visited in Texas, all four of our kids are different. They all have different personalities. And I think growing up now, being grown up now, seeing them grow up, it's just such a, I don't know, it's such a weird experience, because from when they were really young and seeing them just kind of have personalities now, you see how different they are. That's nature. They've all grown up in the same household, right? They've all grown up with the same kind of upbringing, because they're in the same family, but they're still different. They still have different personalities. That's nature, right? So imagine trying to date someone who you already have an inherent difference, because you're just by nature you're different, right? And then add on all this diversity in everything I've just mentioned. How hard is it for you guys to get along? Just think about that. What are the odds that you find someone who appreciates the same music you do, appreciates the same movies you like, who loves the same food, who loves the same languages, culture, who wants to visit the same places, who wants to live where you want to live, who works in the kind of field that you do? Maybe if that's something that you want in a partner, someone who understands your struggle, for instance. I wouldn't date, someone in, I don't think I would date an actor or a rapper. There's some traits that I attribute to rappers and actors and different people that I don't think will get along with mine, right? I like a man in a suit. I like a businessman. It doesn't even have to be a businessman. I like a guy in the corporate world. I like a guy with what do you call white collar jobs? White collar jobs. I don't mind a blue collar job, but I like a guy in a white collar job. I like a guy who's highly educated and would just say smart things to me. I'm a bit of a sapiosexual. So imagine me trying to, date someone who just does not even relate to me in any way. So if I was dating someone that doesn't have a 9-to-5 lifestyle, say a musician, like I mentioned, a rapper, or an actor, or whatever it is, an influencer, Nothing against influencers or rappers or singers or whatever. I just think influencers have a bad name, especially the men. Same way that male podcasters now have it really bad in the media. I feel like male influencers are like, they have a bad press. There was a time I was like posting on Instagram and trying to get the influencer bag. So nothing against them. I'm just saying. So imagine someone without the 9-to-5 lifestyle, and both of you are, for instance, living together. You're setting your alarm at like 6-7 a.m. to get up for work, and they're just like, turn it off. Like, they can get up whenever they want. They're self-employed, right? So imagine even just trying to gel those two routines together. There's a high chance you guys are gonna fight at some point, right? Or for instance, I remember when I used to date this guy is white, and we're just casually talking, and I mentioned how, I could never call his mom by her name. I'm going to be like Miss, say our name is Jane. I'm going to be like Miss Jane, or Mrs. whatever our surname is, Mrs. Smith, right? And then he was like, what? Don't call her that. She wouldn't like that. Just call her Jane. And I went, what? I'm not going to call your mom by her first name. I call everyone else, like teachers, people I work with, I call them by the first names or their last names. But coming from Nigeria, I'm Nigerian. We see it as a sign of respect to say Mr. and Miss. We don't, like, when I was in school, we never called our teachers by their first name. You would get slapped. It was rude, right? We'd have to say Mr. and Miss. So culturally, there's already that barrier. There's already that difference where it's like, no, why would you do that? Just call her Jane. And he said, would you expect me to call your mom Miss? I'm like, oh, hell yeah. You're not gonna say my mom's first name like outright. No, we don't do that here, right? So there was that difference where I'm like, I'm glad I mentioned this, because imagine, we didn't work out, but imagine taking this guy home to meet my mom and he's like calling her by her first name. She's gonna like freak out. So yeah, it doesn't mean that he's a rude person, but in my culture, that is rude. So diversity is a huge reason why we're finding it so hard to find someone who just aligns with what we want, and even think about, for instance, like I mentioned, values or, intention and sort of what you're looking for. A lot of people on the apps, they're looking for something casual. Some of them don't know. Some of them want something serious. Some of them want to get married like tomorrow. So it's hard to just find someone that you like, that likes you back, and that you just align. Everything has to be in alignment. Chemistry, compatibility, communication styles, all of that will just have to gel together. I think there's just so many stars that have to align. So many stars have to align for it to work. And I think that's why it's so difficult, because we're so different, and because of how diverse our society is right now. So number 2, I think I said vanity, right? Let's get into it, right? Think about the show Love is Blind and how badly that has turned out for a lot of couples, because you gel with someone in the pod like they do without seeing them. You speak to them, you get along with them, but then you see them and you don't feel the same way as you did prior to seeing them, right? Why is that? Because we're physical beings, like we're visual creatures. They say men are visual creatures, but women are too. Like, we're all visual creatures. Like, we want to like what we see. I always, joke about this, about when I'm meeting new people or even going for job interviews. I try to look good because you're addressed the way that you dress. And also, psychology says that people are nicer to people that they find attractive. We all do it subconsciously. Even babies, you guys, babies are nicer to faces that they find symmetrical and, attractive. Babies are like the most innocent beings ever, and if they're judging you by your looks, then we're all doomed, aren't we? Like, it's natural, it's human. It's only human of us to judge each other by what we see, right? So I feel like vanity is such a huge reason why it's so hard to find someone, that you want to spend your life with. Because even if all of these other stars align and we get along with someone, there's just that aspect of, yeah, but am I attracted to you? What's the do I get a tingle when I see you? Am I excited to see you? Do I want to come home to you every night? You know what I mean? Like, it's so important. As much as we try to say, you know, it's not all about looks or, you know, the beauty on the inside. Yeah, I know. But how about what I'm seeing every day when I look at you? When I open my eyes in the morning, what am I looking at? What are you looking at? Do you like what you see? I don't want someone who will be with me just because I fit their quota, just because, like, you know, they I don't know, I'm a personality. I'm fine with being a personality hire at work, right? But I don't want to be a personality girlfriend. I want you to find me attractive. I want you to think I'm the most beautiful girl you've ever met. I want you to look at me and go, wow, I've never seen, how are you, wait, I'm trying to look cute. Okay, I want you to look at me and think, wow, like, how did I get so lucky? You're so beautiful. Even when I piss you off, right? I say this all the time. If you date someone you find really attractive, even when they piss you off, even when they annoy you and upset you, at least you can look at them and go, you're lucky you're cute. You can look at them and still appreciate the beauty that God has created. You know, there's that aspect to it. Vanity, 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 vanity. We care about how we look. We care about how we look next to our partners. That's another thing. We care about how, you know, how people see us, how we're judged, you know. And it's not like it's the most important thing, but it is important. Physical attraction is so important. So you add that onto the layer of, you know, being so different. Of course it's hard. Of course it's hard to find someone. You know, you're swiping on the apps, you're like, they seem nice. They seem nice, but do I like what? Do I like them? You know what I mean? Like, it's so hard. It's so hard. Like, recently my sister told my parents about a boyfriend and they were all getting onto me. And my mom tried to be really sneaky about saying, because I told her before, you know, I don't really have that many friends. I don't really, you know, I'm cordial with everybody. But, you know, there's not many people that will call my friends. Like, your personality has to match mine. I vibe, I feed off of people's vibe and energy. And it's so accurate to the point that my friends don't like the people that I don't like. Without even me telling them, we all three of us kind of get the same vibe off of some other people. So, like, there's that energy that you get when you see someone, and it's real, right? So I just kind of told my parents about, oh yeah, you know, some people I don't really vibe with them. And my mom tried to use it against me by saying, oh, you need to give people a chance, you know, trying to say that's why I'm single, trying to say I'm single because I'm too picky. And I was just like, no. I literally told her, I remember telling her, don't use my words against me, Mom. Don't do that. Because she actually apologized like 2 times because she thought I was really upset about it. But I wasn't that upset. I was just like, you know, like, it's already hard. Like, you guys don't realize how hard it is to find someone you like, and then add that layer. Yes, I'm picky because this is someone that I want to spend the rest of my life with. This is someone that you want to spend the rest of your life with. You want it to be the right choice. And fine, you never know, you could get married to someone. Ouch. You could get married to someone today and have it not work out tomorrow, right? But at least you want to do your best to get it right, you know. So vanity is a big thing, you know. I want someone attractive and I want him to find me attractive. So I don't know, if I have to wait a little bit longer to find that, I will. Number 3 is technology, and mainly social media, and also I guess online dating, right? It's made us spoiled for choice. Because you know that there's more. You know that there are other people out there for you. You know, on Instagram you see so many attractive people. Maybe you don't slide in their DMs, but you know they're out there, right? You see loads of people on dating apps. You're like, you just know. You just have a feeling that maybe I can do better, especially when the first date doesn't go well. Okay, let's talk about this. First date, you're vibing, nothing bad happen. Like, it's not bad on any level, but you don't have that instant like attraction. You're not sold on that person, right? You're thinking, okay, maybe I'll just give it another try. But you're also thinking, or should I just pie that and just like, keep swiping? So it's spot for choice, because technology has made it so easy for us to just pick and choose, like we're shopping. Just add things to the cart, like we're shopping. I don't know how to explain it. It's like the mindset of that maximizing mindset, like, oh, you can always find better, you can always do better. I think is making it really hard to date. And also with the social media, you see what other people's men are like, you see what other people's men do for them, but this goes without saying, you don't see what's been done behind closed doors. You don't see how hard they're fighting to make the relationship work. You don't know what the guy is like when the cameras are off. You don't know what the girl is like when the cameras are off. So I think we have an idea of what we want our relationship to look like, how we want our relationship to how we visualize our relationship. We're not focusing on the feeling, we're focusing on too much on the vision. I think how we picture ourselves next to our man, how we're going to post the guy's hand on the dashboard or whatever. I think we have an idea of what love is or should look like, and all the photos on Valentine's Day, all the the balloons and the cake and the flowers and everything. We have an idea of what expectations, right, of what our man should do for us, or our girl should do for us. There was a recent video of a girl, I found out later she's a chef, like she actually went on a professional cooking show with Gordon Ramsay, I think, but she made like bolognese and something from scratch, and spaghetti from scratch, right? And she was like, oh, whatever my boyfriend wants he gets, or something like that. And people were like, oh my god, taking it to another level, you spend like 5 hours cooking something that is gonna eat in 5 minutes. Some people even went as far as to be like, oh, he's still gonna cheat on you though. I'm like, people are mad. But the point is, why would you compare that to your own relationship? Like, why who says that's the standard? Who has the time, without going into like a profile and saying that this is actually a job? Imagine just scrolling and being like, oh wow, she's going through all of that to make her man happy. No, she's a chef, this is her day job, she enjoys it. So we have unrealistic expectations to some extent, and I think it's hindering us finding the right people. It's hindering our progress with the people that we are with right now. Maybe we're comparing them to other people, or we're doubting their compatibility with us, or we're doubting if we should be asking for more. I think we should focus on how we feel when we're with someone, as opposed to a set of rules, or a set of I don't know, what we have on our list of what we see on social media, what we just think it should look like. No, what is it now? What is the reality of this person that I'm with or I'm dating, whatever it is? I think we should focus more on that. And I'm not trying to give advice to you or whatever. I'm just speaking out my ass because it's my podcast. I can say whatever I want. But I'm just giving advice, what I think would help people find their partner sooner, or find their person. I haven't been focusing much on dating this year, but I'm looking to go right back out there and find my person, so that my mom can leave me alone. Not just that, but it's always nice to have someone. So these are things that I would keep in mind as well, dating going forward. Am I being too vain? Am I focusing too much on what I think it should look like, or what this person should do, or my all these expectations? And whenever I disagree with someone, or whenever I see something that I don't think is that compatible with my lifestyle, am I being understanding that we're from different backgrounds and we're from different places, and we would likely not agree on everything? You know what I mean? Am I considering all those things when I'm dating? I think that is the takeaway message for today. So thank you guys so much for listening. I'm going to put my social media up here for you guys to follow, like, share, all of that. And thank you so much, you guys. I'll be back next week, hopefully, fingers crossed. And on my YouTube, hopefully we'll be back with some updates. That's not podcast related, life update stuff. If you don't know, I've got a YouTube channel called Her Dalton, so HERDULTING. And I post my podcast on there, but I also post general videos as well. Hopefully we'll do more of that in the future. So yeah, thank you guys for listening. See you next week. Bye.